Hi, everybody. We're back. I had camera issues again. I'm going to figure them out. I'm going to spend some time today to figure them out. So I'm here with Kopus. We were just talking about how he was driving through Northern California and he saw a sign that said Kopus, and so that his intuition guided him to look it up, and he found out that it's a shamanic tool to heal. It's a physical tool, right? It's like a tool you hold in your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of
Okay.
like a little mini guitar, I guess, something like that. Stringed instrument, similar. It's a stringed instrument.
Do you have
So
one?
no, I don't have one. I
Have you
should
ever
probably get one though.
Have you ever tried to look into see if you could find one somewhere? Where
No,
is it
that's a great
from?
idea. That's a great idea.
Where is it from?
Um,
Is it from a
you
different country?
I don't know. You know,
Well, you should
uh,
find out what kind of shamans, because there's different shamanic. Am I saying that right?
yeah,
Shamanic
no, you're right. There's different shamanic
practices.
practices. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think mine's just like messy. Like Um, so I was talking about like initiation, like a shamanic initiation, and I think I have undergone one of those. And when I say
Oh,
I think, it's like, well, I haven't really spoken a lot about this with anyone like other than my wife, and it's untraditional, and it could be delusional. I don't think it is, but it could,
that's a matter of perspective.
I got to be honest with myself. So like it's a weird thing because weird things have happened like since I've kind of like walked this path. And like I've talked to like interdimensional beings, I've talked to
Hmm.
fays, I have like seen my body like morph, like inside the shower. I've had strange things happen, and I've died. I've got like hypothermia 3 times inside the middle of the summer, and I think I initiated this without like really like knowing what I was doing. Uh,
Subconsciously, you initiated it,
well, by picking
which
the
means it
name
was your
and
path.
walking the path, like
Right,
just like you
right,
know,
right. If you do it without realizing it, that means it was actually for you. Like, because that's your subconscious, that's the energy, and you're moving your body in the way that needs to move in order to make it happen. Uh, did you notice that? So you started as a rapper who was asleep and not spiritually awakened, as we say, and then you have turned into this Kopus
now I
rapper
started as a
now.
poser. I was kind of awake, but what I was trying to do is I was trying to fit into the industry. So
Okay,
like
okay. So
I,
you
I, was-
so
I
you
was
basically forced
playing with.
yourself into it by I mean, you faked it until you made it, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what I mean by being fake is like the messed up character was like a little bit more fake. I was a
Right,
weirdo, like
right.
that was trying to fit into the industry. So like I did a lot of, I made a lot of sexual songs. I like made my versions of songs about like violence, but they were abstract and strange. And like I was trying to fit in instead of like being myself. So
Right,
like that's
right.
what that was.
Right, right. So did your the content of your music change? Like what you rap about, did it change?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Um, I mean, the newest song I wrote about is like integrating the sacred feminine, which is very wordy, but what it really means is like not trying to control everything and not thinking that everything has to be done by like being a driven like guy. And that's how like I approached everything before, like from an angle, like I wanted like, oh, if I do this and I do that, then strategic. Where
okay.
like more now, it's like, um, what's meant for me,
You live in the
and
moment.
and yeah, and I'm just going to kind of like accept more things instead of being the guy that has to do everything, because I kind of took that role in a lot of like the rap group that I was in before, and where I met my wife, I had like sort of a leadership role, and I was always like the second man trying to like angle his way to maybe being the main guy, and it was a stupid approach, but it's what I did. Where now it's like, well, what's meant for me? I'm just going to be myself, and we'll see what happens. I'm still going to take actions, but I'm going to try to take more aligned actions, and that's what the song's about.
That's great. That's great. Do you have any have you ever made any songs about your wife? Are there any songs about your wife?
I have written some songs about my wife. I have one song that's released about her. It was very in the very beginning of our relationship, before she was my wife. It was under the name, messed up. It's called Pancakes. Well, there's a verse where I talk about our relationship inside the beginning, but like I've recently written some songs more about our journey together, and I'm excited to share them with people. But I didn't want to just like release a whole album because that's just dumb right now.
Right,
You
right,
got to
right,
do it
right,
one at a
right,
time.
right,
So
right.
I'm excited to share those, and I probably will over the next couple of months.
Does she share the same perspective you do on spirituality and what's happened to you?
She shares the same perspective about what's happened to me, but she's her own person, and I think that we all have our own journey, and there's things that she's like really into that I'm not. Like she's really into crystals. And it's not that I don't believe
Oh,
that they're true, it's just they don't resonate with me. um I'm more of like when I take information in, I'm more of like a long format kind of guy. She's more of a short format person.
okay, okay,
She's
but
more intuitive than me. I'm more kind of, I let resonate for a while, and then I figure out if I believe it or not.
yeah, yeah, I think that's the female intuition right there. How she's quicker.
Yeah.
Um, so you so but you would say that she is spiritually awakened. She just has different interests than you. She's basically the opposite version of your spiritually awakened self.
Probably.
From what you explained to me, that's kind of what it sounds. So you guys both met uh
Yeah, I
in
had
a
to
sex.
prove it, and she's just it. Like she just
Right,
walks
right.
into a group of people, and people just know like she's the person they need to like go to for advice and such. And I'm like, I gotta listen to these podcasts. I gotta read this book. I gotta, I mean, I'm not that I'm learning from her too. So I'm learning more to just kind of like ride with it. I think we're both learning from each other. So,
Do you guys
but
have
we're
kids together?
no,
No, no kids.
no, we got two
Uh,
dogs. We got two Yorkies, but no
oh yeah.
kids.
Oh, those are kids. The animals
Yeah,
are
there
most
are
definitely
kids for
kids.
sure.
They're absolutely they're different versions of you. And animals are almost harder to take care of than kids because they can't talk to you. Uh,
Yeah, ours are very spoiled, but
yeah.
that's okay.
Um, so let's talk about where you met your wife, because
Sure.
you have a pretty colorful past. I'm not sure if you do these types of events now today in today's world, but you met her there, which was how long ago?
2015, I met her, so it's 11
20.
years.
Okay, so that's yeah, so yeah, that gives you some time to do something different. So you met her at a sex cult, yes?
Yeah. Um,
I have
you
lots of
know,
questions about this.
sure. And again, the sex call, for lack of a better word, because was there a was there like a theology? Nah, more of a philosophy. Was there like a leader that kind of want to keep you separate from the outside world? Yeah. Did I
Hmm.
have a totally different experience than my wife did there? Yeah. Um, but yeah, any questions you got?
Do you have a positive outlook on your experience there or a negative outlook?
I gotta have a positive is I met my wife there. In terms
Right,
of the
right.
place itself, it was good for me, but I don't think it was good for everybody.
Okay, okay. Okay, so so was it somewhere that you went and you lived? You lived
Yes.
there permanently. So that was like your address was there.
Yeah, for about a year.
So you lived there for a year. What state was it in?
California,
California.
Inglewood, California.
How many other people were there?
Usually I'd say around 12, but there were people that like were kind of part of it, but like didn't live there.
So there were only
Um,
12 people.
well, people came and people went. I mean, sometimes there'd be like 15 or 20. Um,
Okay, okay.
but
But
sometimes I think it averaged around 12.
so was it one big giant house that you all lived in?
No, what it was like an old like office buildings. Like it was like they were kind of like made into like like mini studios. It was super ghetto. It was like really like grimy. I don't even know if like it was legal to like live there. Um,
Ugh.
uh, and like there's like we had like one shared bathroom for at least the people that were not like the leaders. And it was like yeah, yeah, I mean like
So,
one like I had like literal rats inside my mattress like when I like moved there, and like my wife was like who was just some girl that I had met there or some woman, and she was like, you can't sleep on that mattress, like you could come and like sleep with like me, you don't want to be inside there. And I was like, okay. And like how did I find myself there? You want to hear that, like how
sure, sure,
what made
sure,
me want
sure,
to?
sure. I'm sure I would have led me there, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so like I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had a guest on there that Dr. Christopher Ryan. He wrote a book called Sex After Dawn, and it was kind of the basis of the book. I think was like primitive humans were polyamorous, and I thought interesting. So I listened to his
Okay.
podcast, and on
I
his
would
pod,
kind of agree, actually.
yeah, I don't think he's wrong.
No, I don't either. Yeah, no, no.
Um,
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
So I listened to his podcast, and he had this lady on there whose name is Dr. Susan Block, and she had a place called Bonoboville. And I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. She was a character. She is a character. She's still alive. And I was like, back of the head. Anyhow, I just got finished doing a internship for doing script coverage, and I thought I was going to get a job at the end, like a big producer, Ken Atchity guy, and I didn't. So I was like, well, what's my next move? I'm looking for jobs on Craigslist, and a place needs an editor, and I'm like, oh, I know this place, Dr. Susan Block, Bonoboville. Okay, so I put on my oversized suit. I go to Inglewood, but it doesn't say Inglewood on there. It says Los Angeles. If you don't know Inglewood, it's like kind of shitty part of Los Angeles, a little
Yeah.
ghetto neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go down there, and I go to interview with this guy named Gonzo, and like he's just like a doofus kind of bro type guy who's like wearing like sloppy clothes, and I got my suit on, and I'm like, oh shit, I wore the wrong uniform for this interview. And then he's like arguing with my wife inside the uh, little office where they interview people about the weed that they were smoking, and like she's like sniffing me out, and thinks asking me if I'm like Chinese or something like that, and making fun of my suit. And after she leaves the office, I talk to Gonzo, and he's like, well, what do you want out of this place? Well, what do you want out of your life? It's like, well, I'm a rapper, but you know um, I'm kind of working on promoting this album. I'm a good editor. I've edited a lot of music videos. Oh, dope! Let me see your music videos. So I show him like my music videos, and he's like, yeah, I think you'd be good here. So he calls Max. Max is Dr. Susan's husband to the office. He's an older man. He's in his 70s and stuff. And he's like, so you heard about us through Dr. Christopher Ryan. He's a good guy. Yeah, we love him. You can take the job. Can you move in today?
Did
Like,
it say you had to move in on the job application or in the job posting?
yeah, I did, but it didn't say like
Oh.
move in today. And I
Oh.
also expected like kind of a little bit more prettier of a place. Like the way she sold it on the other podcast, I thought this was going to be like kind of like, Garden of Eden type thing. This was going to be like, awesome. I didn't know it's just going to be this kind of like shitty, like ran down building. But I'm I felt like shit, let me talk to my roommate, see if it's okay with him. I did. He's like, yeah, go ahead, give it a try. So I sold all my stuff and I moved in.
Did you know
And
it was a sex cult or had anything to do with sex? You did
yeah,
because of the
I knew
show.
I had,
Right, right,
yeah, I
right.
knew something about it, but like the way the commune worked was like you give a few hours of your time, to for there's people different people did different things. I was an editor for their Saturday night show. It was a sex show, and I edited the videos. And what I mean by a sex show is kind of like an extreme version of like old Howard Stern stuff. There was porn stars, BDSM, hermaphrodites, and Dr. Susan would interview them, and she spliced a little bit of her philosophy into it too. And then, there'd be parties afterwards, right?
Right.
So
the after parties, you always hear about
the after
those.
party, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So and there was like celebrities that came through and thought it was cool and stuff too, but it was mostly a lot of souls, to be honest with you.
So I have questions about how the sex parts went, because I used to be a swinger.
Okay.
I was a swinger with a man that I was with for 3 years. We lived in California, actually, Northern California. Yeah, like we went like to swinger conventions. Like we went to events where the whole hotel was swingers, and you'd leave your door open. Like, there was some wild stuff that I've done. So I've never actually been to like what you're talking about. That's on a whole different level. So what did did you guys just have, like, when you first told me that you each had a job, right. I thought you meant like you each had like a sexual job that you'd have to like
sort of
do,
like, my wife, like, she took sex phone calls on the phone.
Okay. To make money. And this is all to make money.
It's all to make money. That's the bullshit about the experience. Is like, I came in like thinking like, I was like, read The Ethical Slut. I read like her, I read her book. I was like, this is going to be cool. Like these people are like into like, swinging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Turned out to be just a fucking business is what it turned out to be.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? Is like, it wasn't always like that. But you have to pay to live too. But you have to pay to live. You do, but the fun spirit of it all, like kind of like went to like crap by the time I got there. Like I was editing videos like a few years prior, and they were having fun. There we were having some fun, but Dr. Susan was more concerned about Max's health, and she was like, not so interested in like attending the after parties and stuff. And it was just like, I felt like I entered like through like sort of like this dark phase, like where the fun, like after the fun and everyone's just trying to survive. They had a better place before the Inglewood location. They had this beautiful place, and I think like Hollywood, and with a loft.
So your timing was bad. You had bad timing. Your timing was bad, right? That's the problem. That was the problem. The timing was bad. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So your wife was there. Did everybody have their own bedroom? Like, were you supposed to have your own bedroom?
Yeah, you're supposed to have your own like little studio, so you have yours. You can put your stuff.
But everybody had their own. Yeah,
it's like 250 square feet or something like that. No bathroom or nothing like that. But it was a place to sleep.
Would they get mad if people who live there like stayed in the same room or
no,
like
people did develop
relationships? So there were people.
No, they did get mad if you develop like. That's what got my wife kicked out. She admitted she loved me, and they kicked her out of the cult.
Really?
First, they tried to separate us. They tried to keep us like, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, and we just broke all the rules.
Right. Like.
And then eventually, they're like, she's like, you know what? I love. We all had our own names. I was Roberto there. So we weren't allowed to have our real names.
Did you pick your name?
I was Roberto Bonobo. I picked the name because it was like my first best friend was Roberto. It was just like off the top of my head or whatever. So I was like, I guess I'm Roberto Bonobo.
Could you pick any name you wanted? Like, did it have to be a human name?
Nah, you could have picked anything.
What were some of the names of some of the people there? Do you remember?
Let's see. I don't think there was any like really, really cool names. If you ask my wife, she would probably. Mar was one of the names. Mar was like a transgender man who was a woman, but then like transitioned back to being a man. And he was like kind of like the heart and soul of the place. He was a real sweet guy, kind of kept the place like going.
He was mama.
He was like, mama. He was mama.
Right. Every place has a mama,
Yeah. And let's see. I mean, my wife used her name Dayton. Gonzo was like a weird name, I guess, because it was like Gonzo journalism.
That was your first
Um,
experience with the new names.
Bambi, there was a Bambi there,
Okay,
a
okay,
black
Bambi, I like
girl
that. I
named
like that.
Bambi, yeah. And but I can't think of anything like super wild.
Did you ever see any like big conflicts, like fist fights, or any like was there a lot of fighting and conflict there?
No, there wasn't a
Was
whole
there
lot of
drugs? Was there lots of
lots of
drugs?
drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
lots of
drugs, huh?
yeah. There's plenty of drugs. The bonobo way, the philosophy is that if you do have conflict, you're supposed to have sex to get rid of the conflict. That's essentially, like bonobos are like the cousins of chimpanzees. So like all the resolution is like they just fuck it out or suck it out or whatever. Like that's
I
how you're
mean,
supposed to deal
I
with
mean,
that.
I mean that energy's in you. You gotta get it out somehow. I
Yeah, I
mean,
guess it's
and
better than blowing shit up.
you're actually transmuting it. You're actually transmuting it into a more positive feeling energy. Anyways, I'm not sure if it's actually positive energy, but it feels positive. So that's probably the best thing that you could do. Actually,
Yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
not a bad like idea, but like in practice, like it's kind of difficult to have sex with someone that maybe you just don't like. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right. Did you get paid as well for being their editor, or did you
No,
have another job where
I had
you?
another job. I was a legal videographer. So I was working for lawyers in the morning and I was attending these sex parties and, doing drugs and
That's
hanging
LA
out
for
with,
you, I guess, huh?
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Your now wife got kicked out. How
Uh-huh.
long after she got kicked out did you leave?
2, 3 months.
Oh,
So
wow.
what ended up happening was I had a tour, a college tour that I was going to be going on like 2, 3 months after she left, right? And I was, going to stay there until the college tour kind of started. But like after she got kicked out, I was talking to her on the phone like every single day, and I kind of figured out a way because she, aside from being like a porn star and a stripper, she also hosted a lot of music events. So I kind of like pitched her to the college tour and was like, she's willing to. She had nowhere to go, and she wasn't quite sure if she was done, doing porn. I think she was just kind of seeing where this relationship was going to go. And I was like, you could go on tour with me because like I told you before, like I kind of became the second person for that tour. Like I helped get sponsorships for it. I
The
was
college tour.
the college tour. And so I had a little influence. I got a couple of my friends that I had known inside the LA music scene on the tour. And I was talking to the lady that orchestrated the whole thing all the time. And she was like, okay, well, she can come and you can shoot your little video. Because I was like, we should shoot like kind of like a podcast or like little video YouTube clips and keep this thing going, and maybe we can get like another tour like next time, but we need footage. We got to show proof of concept. And she'd be great for that. And she's a great videographer, and she wasn't, but like whatever, I was manipulating her into the situation. And she's like, okay, cool, she can stay. I'm not going to pay her, but she's if she wants to come along for the ride, cool. So
So did they provide you
well, this is
with
what happened
housing?
is I left the institute. This tour was on Live Nation. I thought it was 100% a go. My wife met me in Hollywood. We rented an Airbnb for a month, and then we were going to go on the tour. And this
Okay.
lady took all the money and spent it on meth and fucked us all. So
That you had saved for the tour?
that we
No, the
raised
lady
for the
that was
tour.
that she
Yeah,
was running the tour.
she was running the tour.
So all these singers and
All these
people gave
artists
this
that
money to
I kind of
her,
roped into it.
and she took all the money that you
She
guys
took
gave her and sold it and bought meth with it.
we didn't pay any, but what we did is we attracted sponsorships because it wasn't like
Right.
just a music
Right.
tour. The whole concept was building like inner city gardens. So it's called the Brick to Brick Challenge.
Oh, so there's
So
meaning behind it.
there
Even
was
more that
meaning.
there's meaning,
Yeah.
and
It was
she just
supposed to
fucked
be
it all
this.
up.
She fucked it all up. So Now
Was
I'm
that
stuck
supposed to be your first
inside.
tour?
Yeah, that was good. Well, I've done small like regional tours like with groups like across like California, maybe into Arizona and stuff. But this was gonna be my first national tour, and it
Uh,
got all fucked up.
have you had one since? Have you ever had a national tour since, or
No,
anything like it? No, no.
no,
Oh
no. But I
wow.
had yeah. So what ended up happening is after that, I got my wife with me. And we were having these conversations, and I was telling her, I was like, look, um, I love you. I think you're great. I support you as a person, but after this whole institute experience and stuff, like I can't say that I'm your only one if you're going to continue to strip, if you're going to continue to do that. And if you want to do that, cool. Like we can still be partners, we can still be friends, but
Uh-huh.
I can't. I'll feel like a cuck if I'm just like letting you do all that, and
Right.
I'm not doing anything myself. And she was like, well, I think I'm done with it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm over it. And I kind of sensed she was over it because like the few jobs that she did do while we were at the institute, she was just she was a veteran. She had been there, done that, and she just wasn't liking it anymore, sharing her energy with people that she didn't really love or connect with.
What
So we
What does
ended
she
up,
do today? What does she do today? I'm sorry. I'm curious what she does today. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm
that's
curious.
cool. We got business together. We're resellers. We sell on
Okay.
Poshmark,
Okay.
eBay, all that
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. All right. All right. That's great. That's great. What were you going to say? I'm sorry that I interrupted you. I have to work on that.
No,
I
it's
have these
fine.
thoughts in my mind,
Yeah,
and
no, ask. It's
I've been like
cool.
wondering, like, well, what does she do today? And I'm sorry, it just came out. So what were you saying?
So we were basically stuck inside Hollywood with no tour, and we were at this point. Are we going to continue to go on this journey together? And it's not going to be as fun as it was. We're not going to be able to do. We're going to have to be like adults inside this relationship. I had a regular job, but I was going to put more time into a regular job. I told her, I could pay for rent and stuff, but you're going to have to pay for your cigarettes and your alcohol and stuff. You're going to have, I could help you get some extra work or something like that. You're going to have to figure something out. It's not going to be fun. And we decided to take that path together. And like 11 years later, we're still there, but we had no credit. Um, we had nothing, no things, because like we like lived and sold all our stuff when we like lived inside that commune, and like we really kind of started like broke and broken hearted, because like we both kind of put a lot of our like heart into like the institute. We kind of believed in that, and then we got disillusioned when we realized it was more about money and people didn't really care about the philosophy anymore. And then I had my heart broken about the tour because that was like a big thing for me. And so 2 months later, I get another opportunity. I become a lead writer for a show on that's going to film on Hollywood Boulevard, and they got this food truck, and it's going to be a morning show, and it's going to be like a reality show, but a morning show, and they got all these deals with Netflix, and I'm like, okay, shit, well maybe that's the opportunity that I really need to take. And long story short, that shit fell apart too. That guy stole all the money. And that's when I was like, I can't be messed up anymore, because everything that I put my heart into just gets messed up and falls apart.
Oh, this was when you were under messed up the name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what eventual decision took you to Texas? Why are you in Texas now? What made you leave California?
Well, we were having a lot of fun inside California because at the time we were both doing stand-up comedy. This is years later after the Institute. We're kind of back on our feet, and you know, um, we
You do stand
decided,
comedy too? Both of you
yeah,
do?
yeah, we
Oh,
both
okay.
did some stand-up comedy. We know we both never did, but we wanted to try it together.
Have you ever
And
done
like
a show together?
yeah, we did a
Oh,
lot
oh,
in
you do
LA.
together
We,
is what
we
you're
we
saying.
performed at the Comedy Store and all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So
Okay.
like
Okay.
our I think what happened is like we had a lot of trauma and we needed to get it out. And like one of the best ways to kind of like get through that trauma is like through humor. And
That's
we also
common.
missed the
Yeah.
community because we were like part of like this community before. She was part of the porn community. She was part of the stripper community. She was part
Right.
of the community, at Bonoboville. And I missed all my rapper community, so we joined a new community, and we're having good times. And we got this intuition. And one day I got this intuition, and this is pre-COVID, 2019. I was like, this place is gonna fucking fall apart. I don't know if it's gonna be an earthquake. I don't know if this place is going to break into a riot. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but I got this terrible feeling about being here right now. And she said, I do too. And I was like, well, let me call my job and see like where else I can go. And I'm still a legal videographer. And I gave her all the places because I hadn't traveled. She had traveled all over the country before, in different strip clubs and stuff. And one of them was Houston. She's like, I like Houston. Houston would be great. So we ended up moving to Houston in January 2020. A few months later, COVID breaks out. And we thank God every single day that, or, whatever guided us out of LA, because our friends didn't do very well over there. And, I think I feel safer here inside Texas than I did inside Los Angeles. And, you know, there are there's corruption on every part of the government on the left and the right. But what they're doing specifically to California is horrible. Like the homeless problem is insane. They have so much money that they're giving to that situation, but nobody wants to solve it because then they'll lose their money. And it's disgusting what you see there because there's such a huge gap between the rich and the poor, and you have to like interact with these people, these other souls that are like in destitute, and no one gives a shit. They and it just was too much to kind of like to live in that energy. It's a very dark energy. It's not all of California. Like, you go Northern California, you go to San Diego and stuff. It's not as bad, but LA itself, it's got a lot of dark energy there.
I would agree with you. I lived on Stanford campus in Palo Alto, and I would say the energy in Palo Alto and San Francisco was good. I've been to San Diego. I'd say the energy was good there, and I've been to LA, and I can tell you when an area has a dark energy, I can literally see like a dark cloud over the area, or like over a person. I'll see a dark cloud over this person if they're carrying this dark energy,
Yeah.
and even now, right now, I'm seeing images with just this dark cloud over the city, and I would agree with you that that would be the case. And I'm sure that a lot of other people would probably agree with that too. That's
I
a
think anyone
common.
that's tapped in that has been there at least, like,
Yeah, yeah.
say the same thing.
Have you
Yeah.
been back since you've moved to Texas? How long ago did you move to Texas?
2020, we moved to Texas.
Right.
And my wife has been back for a couple of funerals. And I don't think I have been back. No.
I think it's probably worse actually than what you remember it now.
It is. We have I got family out
Yeah.
there, and friends, and yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, like a lot worse. Like especially if you left at the beginning of COVID, especially with all the information about Hollywood that's come out, that
Yeah.
also adds negative energy to the situation. It's actually very wise of you to recognize that. That's great. So what would be your main focus right now? Do you think would it be your rapping, or you say you resell stuff? What's your like? What do you think about most during the day?
Well, I am thinking mostly about the music right now, but I'm treating the music like I've treated like my eBay business or a reselling business. And I think that's part of the initiation is that like I always shot for a big break or a viral moment before. And like growing a business and doing it for 5 years now, I learned that it's about showing up every single day. It's about the things that you did a few years ago might embarrass you today because you've learned, how to clean your act up. Some of my listings or my titles, were awful back then. And I'm treating the music the same way. It was like, this is a long-term goal, and whatever happens, happens with it. But I'm going to work on it, every single day, and I'm going to grow it, and I'm sure I will. It's up to fate, like how long I'll be reselling, but I will grow my way out of reselling, and we enjoy reselling. It's a whole lot of fun, but I don't think it's my calling. I don't think it's like what I'm here for. And I think that what I am here for, what I've been shown, is that I'm supposed to be a healer. And I still don't know what that means because I haven't necessarily healed anyone yet. If it's just through music, then great. If that kind of like, you know, opens another door, and I got more to learn and I can help in a grander way, then great. Or if it's just simply by being an old guy that makes it inside rap and shows you that you can still do it inside your 40s, and you don't have to give up on your dream just because of ageism, you know, then so be it. But I think that's what I'm really here for. That's like what occupies my mind. I do my job that pays our bills, and I do the best I can. But when I got free time, or when I'm, sourcing, looking for things to sell, I got songs inside my head. I got ideas for TikTok videos, and that's pretty much what I think I'm here for.
Well, I can just tell you, like, just the energy of talking to you now and listening to the things that you're saying. I think whatever you want to do that you're going to be successful at, whatever your idea of success is in that area, I think is going to happen for you because you just seem very balanced and very wise in what you say. And it sounds like the experiences you've had have all impacted you in a way that leads you to success. So I think
I
you're doing
appreciate
a
that.
yeah, you're doing a great job. I think you're doing a great job. And you said you're not sure what healing even means. Well, I can say that based on my knowledge of healing, somebody has a frequency, and if this somebody has a high frequency, which means they've healed themselves first. You have to heal yourself in order to have a high frequency. But these
Yeah.
people literally heal the people in their vicinity. So you can be in a room full of people and your frequency will be healing the people around you. And they will feel better after they've been in your presence. You'll have people say to you, I feel better after being around you. That's what that's what that means, is that your frequency is healing them. So, healing isn't always intentional. It's just by showing up and being yourself is how you can heal others.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I think healing can be so many different things. So when I say like I don't know how it's going to show up in my life, I just know that I've seen visions of me like being like a healer, and like I always laugh at that shit because like I'm like, all right, whatever. I've been a fuck up most of my life. If I'm going to be a healer, then let's do it. But I'm gonna take it with a grain of fucking salt. But I've seen that, and I've also seen like, you know, things like that kind of come to fruition. So that's why I'm like, well, we'll see how it shows up. It could be like you said, it could be, very simple, of just healing myself and then being a higher vibrational to people that I come in contact with. And maybe that's a little bit why I'm being called to get out of the cocoon stage, because it's like you've done enough healing, time to show up for people.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not all about
yes,
you anymore.
yes,
And it
yes.
feels comfortable being all about me, because like I love the fact that I have this like simple life with my wife. We never had that, like we've
Yeah,
kind of been
yeah,
running and gunning most of our life. So like
yeah.
it, it's great that I now feel like a spark to go do some stuff, but it's like I don't need it. and that's what I think is also a big difference too, because I always felt like I needed everything that I chased before. Now it's just like, cool, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, it's just, you have to let it just be part of the experience and not really have anticipations or expectations
Yeah.
about what's going to happen. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been about an hour. Yes. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching
Yeah,
now,
great.
there is a part 1. There's a very short 5-minute part 1. You should go check that out. I had camera issues, but so we're here now and we just finished. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Kopus.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I'm gonna